Hello, my name's Neil. It's Friday, it's 5 o'clock, and I'm just about to set off to the Lake District for a canoe camp with my mate Greg, an old friend from school. We've known each other a long time, so it'll be lovely to spend this time with him and experience the camp together. It's wet, it's meant to clear up on Saturday dinner time, so it's going to be a wet camp tonight. We have spoke about sleeping in a van. Hopefully we're not, we're going to find a camp, but we'll see how we feel when we get there and what time we get there. But yeah, that's the idea. So 2 camps basically, a wet one and a dry one, but we're hoping to do a wild swim also, so it's going to be wet one way or another this weekend. Bit of cooking, bit of swimming, wild camping, canoeing, all sounds good, doesn't it? I'll go and pick Greg up, I'll show you a bit of the journey, and then I'll see you when I get there. So we've arrived now, we're just trying to find a place to park the vehicle. There's a fly out lens. Park the vehicle and get the canoe off. Oh, and this is Greg, by the way, this is my buddy. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting out on that. This was Greg's first canoe camp, and due to poor communication on my part, we were carrying far too much gear for my low-sided canoe. This is a great camp for tents. However, Greg was hammock camping. I know people do hammock camp here, but we were unsure where. We found 2 trees on a steep slope. It was doable, and Greg was happy he could make it work. Now to find my pitch, and that was the easy part.
That'll do, mate.
Working up a sweat. Just heard a fish splash then. I've got my fishing kit with me.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, the fish rolls then. I don't think we'll have time for that tonight, I don't know. We'll see how we go. So, the barnacle's not as tidy as it has been in the past. Yeah, it's a right flipping state this tonight. I'm not happy with it really, but time is moving on. So, not the best barnacle, but a barnacle nevertheless. So I'm in the tent now, it's wet outside. I'm trying to blow my Nemo up by blowing its little hole here. And then we pinch him and squeeze him. Up there, can you see him? Greg was new to hammock camping, but he did well with his setup. There was a rocky slope underneath him, but it came with a great view. Time was pressing on, it was 10:30 and we were hungry. Greg was still keen to cook our planned tea of steak peas mashed with pepper sauce. We planned to cook on a trangia, but there was cut timber already on site. Split this down a bit more. It's thin bits, pretty dry this. Smells quite resinous as well actually. Little Neil's bag of tricks. Got my gloves. A new invention. Joking, obviously I've not invented it, but I call it fire bacon, and it's an old hemp rug covered with beeswax. Fire bacon. I could still lose it. I could still lose it. So the fire's been going like a good one, and we're just about to do some tea. It's getting very late now. We are at 10 to 12. but the weather's been kind to us. It's a bit drizzly, we're getting lovely heat off the fire. We're going to do some smash. We've got some potatoes, smashed potato, peppercorn, some peas, and we've got some steaks warming up next to the fire on the rock there. So that's what we're going to do. So boil some water, get the smash.
Don't forget to mention you need tin up.
Oh, that's it. That's what prompted the actual video in. A tin opener I purchased a while back. It's like a little military tin opener. I've been wanting to use it for ages.
Look at that.
There is a neck to it. There you go.
Incredible. Yeah, we're looking forward to some food now. It's been a long day. Quite tired, having a couple of beers.
You didn't do so well with your hammock, did you?
No, a bit disappointed with that. I need to get better with my variety of knots that I can use. The terrain was quite difficult, to be fair. Ideally I'd be in a completely flat pine forest with lots of different options, but
we were talking about the kind of excitement slash kind of a little bit of panic when it's getting late and you're trying to get things together and you're just not remembering some things the best you can. It's alright when you're in your front room and you're practicing your knots, but then when you really need it and it's dark and you're in a rocky terrain, you're in one of the worst environments you've ever come across swinging a hammock.
Yeah. Yeah, again, it was very different in my back garden where I had, lots of different, hit points and things like that, but it's all a learning curve, and so long as I can get some sleep, then I suppose it's a success.
So we're nearly ready to plate up. I've got my smash in there, peas in there, there's pepper sauce there, steaks are just resting there on this hot rock. Plate up time. You need to get a metal plate, Greg, so we're not going to...
That is a metal plate.
Is it?
Titanium.
Oh, is it? Oh, get you. You need to get a bigger plate then, don't you?
Well, you're a bigger boy than me, so you can go on, yeah.
That stainless steel plate is a belter.
This is good, this is our midnight feast.
So that's smash, now we've got some pepper sauce, steak. Someone's going to have to have a bigger one than the other one.
I'll see you can cut it.
And then we'll rip a bit off.
No, you're alright, Slap. Alright then, go on, I'll have the fat.
Is that what the fat is? Look at all that juice come off there.
Lick that stone, that's the tasty stuff.
Right, and then
whack a load of pepper sauce.
Pepper sauce all over that.
A la carte. And that's
You've got to use it all, haven't we?
Yeah.
Got to use it all.
Listen, so long as it tastes good, that's the main thing.
It'll taste bloody good. Anything tastes good when you are starving, when your tea's been at 12 o'clock at night. We've earned this today. We've had hammock issues, we've had timing issues, trying to find a place to park issues.
Yeah. The little paddle over was lovely though.
It was alright, yeah.
Let's dig in.
That's it, all pots are done now. We're fed and watered. And just giving it a bit of a clean up. So we're ready for tomorrow to rock and roll. We haven't talked about breakfast actually, have we?
I believe we're having pancakes.
Well, we could have pancakes, we could have bacon and sausage. Because we might have pancakes on Sunday morning. That's a good thing about coming that night before, is you can actually really just slip into the pace of the day, the next day.
Yeah.
Rather than like you're setting off early, you're trying to find a place to park up, and then you get into where you need to be. We're right in the mood tomorrow. We're in the zone already.
Yeah.
So,
should be a great day. Okay, so
yeah, we'll sign off now then. So we'll say night night, and we'll see you in the morning.
Night night, everyone.
Good morning. Well, I've started packing some stuff away in the tent. It's a bit damp outside still, so I'm actually, it's not designed to take down the inner inside this tent, but I have actually done that. I've just positioned the walking pole just in the middle and just dropped it a bit and pulled it out, and it worked quite well. So yeah, be able to tidy up as much as the inner as possible. I could probably do the same with the ground sheet as well, and then just drop that the outer at the last minute. But it's given me a bit of space and time to start packing stuff away, and I think it's time to get a brew on though. Right, I'll take you out. There's Greg up there.
That's what we've used already.
Mother this morning is doing breakfast. However, this is a situation. I didn't film this initially, but this is a situation with the coffee. Under this little cloth here is what we're improvising as our cafetiere. Is that the right word? Cafetiere. Cafetiere. That's what Greg was. The one thing he went to bring and he forgot. So now we're using his. It's like a two-part Stanley cook kit, and so it'll insulate it a bit, and we'll put that over the top so it'll steep, and then we'll kind of filter it into our cups, and hopefully that'll taste something like coffee. That's the plan anyway.
Hey, what's that? That's some kind of worm. Right next to the bacon. That's not come out the bacon, has it?
No, what is that?
You hear about them weird worms in pigs?
Oh, a tapeworm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I moved that bacon. Look at Greg making himself comfortable. Getting right in there, I'll fire you lot. Right in there.
What about back?
Woman is, but you're not going to have a good back doing that.
I know, but it's even worse than me.
Whoosh! Oh yes. Everything under here now. Make a bit of a butty up. Oh, there you go. Don't mind if I do. It's the first time I've cooked so much on the Trangia. I'm really pleased with it. Really. It's nice not having the gas roaring away, you know, like a gas burner making a noise. There's a YouTuber called, I think it's called the Wiltshire Man. He refers to gas stoves as not having a soul, and I think that's something lovely about that. So in other words, like a campfire or a Trangia, they have souls. I thought I'd show you a bit of a canoe that I made. I made this about 3 or 4 years ago now. It's a stitch and glue technique ply canoe. It's 6mm marine ply, and I actually bought a canoe off of a customer, and it was in disrepair really. But what I did, I broke it up and used the templates to create this. So this is all what I've made. I think I reused the seats and I reused the yoke, but it's mainly all me. So yeah, I'll just kind of give you I'll show you the bottom first, and then I'll talk you through the inside and how I've done it. So this pattern is actually what was on his original canoe. It's quite Indian-like, so it's very similar. It's not exactly, but I loved it. I just loved how it was like a bit of a beak, a bird's beak, and I love these arrows. It just really looked quite Indian or traditional kind of open canoe. So yeah, I copied it. The gunnels are ash. And I've oiled them. They often get mucky because I store it outside at the moment, unfortunately, under a tarp, so it is getting a bit of abuse. You can see on the end of the gunnels here where it gets a bit of damp, you know, a bit of condensation on it, but you sand it back and you can re-oil that, it's not a problem. And they're a sacrificial thing, the gunnels as well, because they often rub on the roof bars, so I'm not too worried about that. It's mainly the hull that you want to kind of keep in good shape. It's the first time I've ever used this epoxy, so you put a weave on it, like a fiberglass weave, and then you roller on this 2-pot epoxy. And I think, because at the time I couldn't get epoxy sheets the right width, so there was a joint basically about here, and I think this kind of clouding that started to happen It wasn't there originally, that. It started to come through as it's got older, but UV got onto it. Yeah, that cloud, I'm assuming, is a bit of oxygen that got trapped in there, perhaps when I was kind of doing the join. A bit of a rookie error, I suppose. But it's strong, and that's the important thing. It's lasting. So in the joins here where the plies met, you can just see there, I think, you see where this screw hole was, where I put a cable tie through, basically, whilst you epoxy it together. And then you kind of get this powder that you put into the two-pot epoxy, and you fill in all the gaps and you sand them all back to kind of get that nice radius to it. And then, like I said, the weave goes on, you put the two-pot epoxy, and then you sand in between coats. And then I did another roller-on last coat to kind of build up, so there's no bumps on the epoxy, because it is like a texture to it. You can see there, it's got like a cotton fabric texture to it, so you don't want any of that being high. And then when it's all nice and flat and epoxied up, you bang on some yacht varnish to it, because the epoxy I used isn't UV protected, so you have to protect it with a varnish to make sure the epoxy doesn't break down. You can see it's seen some action. Even here, you can see the bit of damage where the top coat of varnish and the last bit of epoxy I put on's pinged off, but it's still good underneath, so the weave's still good. So I'm happy that it's all still structurally sound. And I'll tell you what, we loaded it up last night. That's most of it put in it. I believe canoes that are made like this, similar to this, professionally made, can actually hold about 250 kilograms. That's what they're claiming to hold. So you can see a lot of action here. So yeah, we should be good. You can see that it takes a little bump here on the bow of the stern, but you're just down to the weave again. You're not going through into the ply. So again, as long as the ply is sound, you know that you can maintain this and look after it. So this is flipped over. You can see the gunnels, a deck plate here, and a little handle I built, a laminated handle there. These inner gunnels with the gaps. It's a traditional thing, that, but it really helps drain when you flip it over on one side, so the water will kind of hit that and come out. It won't get trapped by a gunnel. It's a full one. The yoke that I didn't make, I salvaged that off the last boat, so you can kind of see the inside. I've lined inside with a weave as well. You don't have to do it. Some people don't do that, but I wanted it to be belt and braces, as strong as it can be, which does add to the weight. So this isn't a light boat by any means now, because I've done so much fiberglassing, which I'm still happy I did, because I know it's strong. That is something you could consider not to do, to kind of keep the weight down. That's the weight with canoes, is a big deal. You can kind of see on the inside here there's like a tape mark, so originally I taped it, so in other words, when I say tape, I mean there's a 2-inch wide fiberglass tape roll, should I say, that once you've stitched and glued it together, you can, and on the inside, put the tape on first, let the tape go off, then I cut the ties off. Then I kind of did the full fiberglass coating weave then, because that, you know that this 2-inch tape is going to hold the form. The cable ties aren't going to do it anymore. I've got some photos of it, so I'll pop them on screen as well, so you can understand the process a bit better. She's seen some action. She gets used. I enjoy her very much, more than I anticipated. I don't know why that is. I just didn't think I'd use as much as I do, but I enjoy every outing, and I don't mind the scars that she acquires, because they're all adventures, they're all telling a story. So yeah, I'm really pleased with it, even though there's lots of room for improvement. And one of the differences I found with this canoe to other ones that I've been using that are fiberglass and like built for rivers really, is that the sides, they're quite shallow, lovely to paddle on, because your reach doesn't have to be as long, so it's a really comfortable canoe to paddle. I think it's really kind of responds well in the water, but yeah, on choppy water, that is the concern. But yeah, on lakes and canals, she's a beauty. But yeah, when it gets choppy on the legs, it does get a little bit hairy. And I don't think I'd ever take her on a river really. She won't take a bump. But I do love getting out in it. Right, we're all loaded up, all clean and tidied. We've we actually found a bit of firewood here, so I've left what was there anyway, and we've tidied everything up. Picked up some litter as well. There's so much like bits of tissue and bottles around, so we tied all that away. And that was as we found it as well. So there's like obviously it's a permanent kind of thing here. But apart from a few bottles and a bit of tissue, that's pretty clean and tidy. So I'm quite impressed that it was as tidy as it was. I thought it was going to be worse, but yeah, we've left it mint anyway, like I said. So now it's time to get in that rascal and get out and explore. Just at the time when the wind's really picked up, so a bit of an hard grafter really to get around this corner, I think. You see mist there and wind. But yeah, I think it's going to hit us as soon as we get around that. We'll aim for the island first, I think, though. So that's about exploring the island. You've not been to Island, Greg, have you? So we'll get out on that. So yeah, we'll just set off now, I think. We just tried to do like a paddle away, completely cocked it up. It didn't work out. First one I've tried to do when you leave the camera and look at us, we're struggling. Whoa! Smashing back. Oh, she'll be ruined at the back. She'll be get away from these rocks. Oh, paddle away. Push away. We've got water on board. It's working tree, it's a little baking tray thing, round wind thing I put around the Trangia triangle. Just fits lovely. I was telling Greg I love how it's just the right height. It works really well. It looks like we're boiling as well. So we're going to have a hot chocolate whilst we're looking at this lovely view. Yeah, just to take it all in. Hot chocolate time. Oh, we've had a nice brew. We're just about to set off, and here we are with it blowing its bloody head off. I'll just take you over this side. This is the blowy side. You can see. It was nice and sunny when we had a brew then, and now I'll bring it around here so you can hear me. Nice and sunny, and now we're ready to set off into this. There's a bit of a wave on water as well, so it'll make it interesting though, won't it? Eh? So yeah, let's get going. Let's see how we do. So what we've just decided to do, the wind's really picked up. There's been a sailing club on here today, and we've seen a few capsizes, and it's got proper choppy. As I mentioned, it's not a very deep canoe this, and it's been taking a lot of water, and we've like got too much gear in here. So we're looking like we're going to have to head back a bit, just because it's going to be windy tomorrow, and we don't want to get further out, more problems. You can see the waves we're up against. But yeah, this is what we have to deal with. So yeah, it's going to be tricky to get back to where we were, but I'd rather do it now than tomorrow, even further away. So that's the plan. I've done all the bailing out. I'm just going to head into the wind and try to go back to a small camp that we found before the one we camped at last night, or after. You know what I mean? We found another camp further down anyway. We'll probably go to that one. Alright, I'll get you back later when we're hopefully there, alright, when we've survived. See you in a bit. What's just happened is we've just both toppled. We've just gone over. Tried to do it, you can see how big waves are, and it was a mistake. So canoe flipped, it's overloaded, it's got too shallow sides, loads of mistakes made, but we managed to get it to the side, and this is where we're going to stay until it calms down. I think that's the best thing to do. So yeah, we're going to rethink. This is the situation now. We're trying to get stuff out and scrambling to a really crap place to camp, but yeah, this is how we're dealing with it. You see how much water's in there, and just emptying it out so we can tip the canoe over to where it gets. Yeah, well, so yeah, things go wrong, but yeah, we're dealing with it. It is treacherous. Right, so we've managed to get onto bank now. It was 31 kilometres an hour, Greg just said. That's what the kind of wind speeds were that obviously are not good to canoeing, which results in this basically. So yeah, we're going to get some dry clothes on, and we're going to try and find some places to swing the hammock and find a place to pitch. I think I'm going to struggle. I think Greg will be alright, but I'm going to really struggle. But we'll make something work, it's alright. So yeah, dry clothes I think first, and then find a place to pitch. And then we'll start looking at firewood and things like that. But it dies down in the morning, so the plan is that first thing in the morning we'll get up early and we'll make the journey back when it's wind speeds are down to about 20, hopefully 25, something like that. But yeah, it's been a learning curve for me, but sometimes that's what it's about. Problems. There's no flat ground around here at all for me, so I'm improvising. So I'm laying some timbers down. I've got a 2-man tent with me, but I brought a half inner, so I'm just going to try to get the half inner flat, and then the other half will just have to kind of flap around or do what it needs to do and just store gear under there. It's not important, but just to get a flat lay, that's what I'm after now. And it's tricky, there's nothing, but I found the best bit I could do something with, and I'm spiking some timbers into the ground to hold some like 2-inch, 3-inch section timber that I found now, and I'm going to start putting loads of leaves and like shrubbery and stuff like that and in to build it all up to kind of make a squishy bed, and I'll put my mat on it, and hopefully that'll lay me flat. That's what I'm trying to do, but you can see I'll show you what I'm trying to do. So this is the spikes I've put in several places like that as well along this timber here. I'm just going to start putting all this in here that I've cut now and building it up like that, and trying to get rid of as many rocks as I can, and trying to make some kind of squishy flat surface that I'll put my mat down on, and then I'll put my tent on that, and hopefully I'll get some sort of flatter lay. Mat down there, the ferns underneath it's kind of bulk out the level, some bit of timber to kind of build it up to, some stones to hold it in place, and then that'll do me for me half, and the other half's going to dangle over that side and just do what it has to do, but at least I'll get some kind of flat lay. So that's my resolve. So I'm going to pop the tent up there and see how that sits. It's not going to sit well, is it? But at least it'll be a level lay. Alright. And Greg's been busy making a mallet actually, haven't you? Yeah, look at that. So what are you going to use it? What are you using it for?
To batter you with later on, my love.
Alright, that's alright.
Just for some pegs. I've always wanted to make it. I just thought it was a really cool way of doing something. So just for learning. Really.
Yeah?
Playing, yeah.
Bit of bushcraft. Right, tent up. That's what I've done. I've got my flat lay, but I've just, as Greg just pointed out, and I've just found out, the ground is like just made of rocks. So tent pegs is an issue. Getting tent pegs in is a problem. So next problem, we'll solve it. Right, we've got a bit further. Got the tent up. It's one of the worst pitches I've ever done, but I'm really working with a problem here, but we've got over it, I think. There's a lot of prep, a lot of foundationing to do, but it's all bumpy, so I'm using the jackets flotation devices as a kneel pad, because my kneel pad, the other pad is underneath there now, isn't it? On top of all the ferns. This is my storage area. This has been set up, the military sleeping bag. It's got the Mosinette in it, that's really handy. I love the pockets that are inside it as well for storing stuff. My own pillow, which is an inflatable one, and a synthetic small camping one I put together. I like a good pillow. And I've got the old Nemo Tensor long wide sleeping mat. It's a very good mat. And then that's just my merino wool long johns for the night. And that's my bedroom section done. A bit of a low roof because it's all funky at the back, but we've done the best with a bad job, and I can lay flat, so I've achieved something, haven't I? So I'm pretty pleased with that. As pleased as I can be. And like I say, we're struggling with getting pegs in, so we're using rocks, and By heck, it took a long time to get this something like. But we are something like, and that's what matters. So now it's the firewood prep really, and start to think about working on a fire for tonight, but the wind's continuing to pick up. Blowing a bloody gale, to be honest with you. Greg's kind of right now, he's a pitch up there, he's a hang up there, he's drying his bag out as well after we fell in. We've got some stuff on the drying since, but we did alright, double bagging my stuff in the dry bags as well. It worked, but you still get a bit of water coming in, so even when you double bag you still get a little bit. Maybe I've done it wrong, but yeah, it's always worthwhile double bagging your stuff in the canoe. I can stay to that. Never mind. Greg's off up there getting some wood. He's got his washing line up as well. But yeah, that's it. That's the next thing. Get wood, get tea on. So I didn't show the lighting, but I just banged everything on in my arsenal again. Basically, got some like fire bacon that I made, a mat that was soaked in wax, and then some that tinder card. It's called, isn't it? And a bit of sawdust as well. So a few things. I think I even put some resinous timber on there as well. Everything went on just to make sure we get it lit straight away. So I've got a few bits of damp timber on there. No messing about this time of day. There you go. Greg's been mother and he's in charge of the stew this evening. I've only made one stew before and Greg's doing it completely different to what I've done it. And he's, but
I've made stew dozens and if not hundreds of times.
Well, then I mean, good hands then.
I've
good
also
hands.
worked in high-end kitchens and restaurants.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. And in the zebra pot there, that is actually, we've got some chicken in there. I'm using it like a bit of an oven, so that's what's in there. I've got some little drumsticks and thighs in there as a starter, I suppose. It's a starter, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's still a bit blowy. My tent still looks pretty bad. Oh, so this is what Greg's cooked up. Well, I've contributed as well. We were a bit wrong with the suet though. I had it too thin. It's my fault, and it's all kind of separated. But I'm sure it's going to taste delicious. But it's dish up time.
Here we go. Ding ding. Round one.
Oh, they have joined together. It was a bit runny when I mixed it, so I thought it all bubbled at the top. So I thought it wasn't. It was loads of little bubbles. But
look at that!
Yeah, that's what he wants. It's like cake. Hey, you don't spill it, man. That's what we want. And as per normal, it's got a bit later than what we wanted.
Yeah. Always have a massive stodgy meal just before you go to bed. There you go, mate. That'll start you off, won't it?
Bob on, yeah. Thank you.
Normally after our normally late tea, we usually have some chill out time and a couple of beers. But after our earlier excitement, we were both exhausted. And we knew there was an early start to try and paddle calmer waters the next day, so it was time for bed.
Well, good morning. It's Sunday morning now. It's about 6:30. Got up early just to start packing things away to make an attempt to try to get an early start at getting on this water because as you can see it's a lot calmer this morning. And it picks up as the day goes on, so this is our window to try to get back across. I've not decided yet whether we're just going to go straight across it to the side or actually go back the way we came. The priority is to pack up and then assess what we're going to do. So that's what I'm going to get cracking on with right now.
We're nearly all packed away now. You can see my little bed, it's all squished down. Kept me flat and level. I did get a good night's sleep on it, so yeah, that's a tip for today. They come in handy, these mats, you know, if you're even cushioning the bottom of the barrels against the canoe or just around camp, bloody brilliant. And Greg had a good night's sleep, didn't you, Greg?
Yeah, it was nice.
In the dangler. Very nearly there now. Greg's just packing his final bits away. We've cleared all the site. There's no sign of a fire or anything we've done like that. And that's where my bed was there. Greg's hammock was up there. This is where we had a tea and a stew. So no traces of any kind of fire or anything like that. Just trampled grass. Gear's down there, canoe's there. It's not going to be an easy load this one, but we'll have to manage it. So that's the next task. Right, Greg's getting in. We're all loaded up now.
a bit nervous, but we'll be all
Yeah, but we're just going to go straight for it, going to go across there. But it's time to leave her. She served us well in the end. Get back on the water. Yeah, let's get back on the horse. See the other side.
Having lost some confidence, we didn't try to film the crossing, avoiding any distractions that the camera may bring. We attempted to cross at a 45-degree angle to the waves to get to the other side as soon as possible. This unfortunately failed, as when we got into the middle of the lake, the waves and the wind were affecting our progress and tiring us out. Reluctantly, we decided to turn back to the coastline we originally came in on, so we could hug the shoreline. This manoeuvre was nerve-wracking, as this is why we capsized the day earlier. We succeeded, and we returned to our first campsite. It appears that the hills at this end of the lake shelter the waters. Comfortingly, we could see that crossing we have to make to get to where we first put in are stiller waters.
There you go, so the rain's come in now. We're back though, back where the van is. And we've survived. It got a bit excited again, didn't it?
Yeah, made the right decisions.
Yeah, I might have mentioned earlier that we tried to cross the lake, but we did it a diagonal to cut into the wind, but it was knackering. It was really tiring. So we decided to tack back, go to the coastline, follow the coastline, and then that was the right thing to do because the wind wasn't as hard in the coast, and also where we ended up, the wind wasn't as hitting us as hard, so we could just nip across, pass through the island and to this coast this bit's like flat as out. You can see it's beautiful. That's how you'd always like it to be. But yeah, we managed it. I've learned a lot of things. I know I need to pay more attention to the wind speeds, not just the bloody weather forecast in regards to the sunshine and temperatures. So yeah, I've learned a lot, but it's been a really good camp with Greg. We're back together and we're safe.
We're safe, we made it.
And we had a really good time.
We did, yeah.
It was hairy. It was hairy and it got a little bit like, a bit scary at times, but we survived. We've learned a few lessons. So yeah, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye now.